Hey guys, so we're gonna wait. What? Why is the door open? Why is it? Hold on. Yeah, close the door. Wait, what? Okay, so um. Anyway, so I'm glad I came in here when I did, but we're gonna go through some more of my records. So let's get into this. So let me see here. Just in case, I'm not sure if I went for this one. Did I go for this one? I don't know. Just started though. I don't think I did. But this is Geo Getty by Boards of Canada, and this is one of my favorite electronic music albums ever. This is my favorite Boards of Canada release too. And I don't know if you ever heard of Salad Fingers. I've never really watched it, but one of the theme to the show is a song that's used in this album. I feel like I maybe did. I just want to be sure. But this album's really interesting. The length of the album is a lot of people kind of get this ominous, mysterious kind of sound when listening to this. I think I've heard, which I don't. But some people find this album kind of creepy, but I can maybe see why. But I don't know. But the length of the album is exactly 6 hours, 6 minutes, and 6 seconds. And the last track is basically just nothing but complete silence. Just so it could be 6 hours, 6 minutes, and 6 seconds. Anyways, now let's get on to some more. Let me see what else we got. Okay, let's see here. All right. I don't think I did this one. Okay, hold on 1 second. Okay, so this is The Eighth of Naples by Coil. And Coil is a post-industrial, like electronic music experimental group. They've kind of done all different sorts of genres, but it was made up of John Balance and Christopher, I forgot, but one of the members of the group was actually originally a member of Throbbing Gristle, and Throbbing Gristle is the first industrial music group. And I think both of the members of this group were gay. And this is actually their last release. And John Balance actually passed away when this was released. This album I think took years to make, and it was and a lot of people generally regard this as their masterpiece. And they've been around since the 80s though, well early 80s, but this came out in 2005. And a lot of the songs on the album have to do with death. And John Balance, it's kind of sad how he died. So he was very depressed, and he was on a balcony and he was drinking, and he got drunk, and while he was drunk he accidentally fell off the balcony and fell to his death. And that's how he died, unfortunately. And the other member also died later, but I forgot how he died. I think he might have gotten cancer or something like that. But this is a great group though. Really interesting group. A lot of interesting backstories too. Anyway, so let's see. Okay. All right. Okay. So this one. Let me take this out. Okay. Sorry. All right. I think we're good. Okay. All right. This one is "The Land of Rape and Honey" by Ministry. This is one of the first industrial metal albums, I believe. And this is personally my favorite release by Ministry. And looking at this cover, you probably have no idea what this is. I didn't really until you, I don't know if you can tell what it is, but it's if you really look closely and you know what this image is, you can maybe see why their label is upset, because this is an image of a dead person's head, basically. So this is his mouth, his nose, his eye, his ear. And this was taken on some kind of documentary of some Holocaust. This is a Holocaust victim who was burned alive. And they wanted, Al Jorgensen, the vocalist of the group, wanted to use this as the cover, and his label told him they couldn't use that. And so then he drove, while he was driving, he found a dead deer carcass. There was a deer that ran over, and he cut off the head. And then he drove it back with him, and then he threw it on their desk and said, this is your new fucking album cover," or something. And then they accepted the Land of Rape, this cover instead. No, it's kind of weird, but this is my favorite Ministry album though. But this is their first metal album because they originally started out as a synth pop group, and then they do electronic music, and then now they're industrial metal band. And this is actually Al Jorgensen's favorite release too. But it's not their most popular release, but it's personally my favorite though. Stigmata is my favorite Ministry song, even though it's apparently Al Jorgensen's least favorite. But I don't know, it's a good song, in my opinion at least. But it has a good sound. And this is kind of like they kind of had some of their electronic music influence on this release as well, which works out pretty well. Okay, so this one is The Money Store by Def Grips. And this is actually the first record I ever bought. And I don't know if you can tell because it's kind of worn out. You know, it's not that old. But this is actually my favorite album for a really, really, really long time. And I probably said that about a lot of releases, but this is probably the longest I've had an album is my favorite. Is probably, I don't know, this one probably. But this is a good release though. I think I don't love it quite as much as I used to, but I remember when I first listened to this album, I listened to it front to back for like 4 hours or I don't know, somewhere really, really long time. I listened to it constantly. I listened to it so much. I thought it was the coolest sounding thing I've ever heard. I thought it was so awesome sounding, and like no other group really came close to what this album sounded like. But personally, I think the Powers That Be is better now. But this is definitely a really great release if you want to get into this group, is because they're easiest to get into, I'd probably say. But I feel like it's one of the more overrated releases, though, for me at least. Okay, this one is Loop Finding Jazz Records by Jan Jelinek. And he's a German glitch ambient electronic musician. Now, this is a good album, but the packaging for this has got to be some of the worst I've ever seen. I don't know, this is really boring packaging. I don't know, maybe I kind of did that though, but this is a good album though. It's pretty, almost like rave inspired glitch music, I guess. And this is the download code. There's a little tear on it. I don't know. They didn't do so well with the packaging though, but it's okay. The music's pretty good though. And this is one of my favorite ambient releases, I'd probably say, if you can really consider it. It's more of like a glitch music album though, but this is a good release though. I almost thought it was a bootleg just because how boring and bland packaging was. But it's alright, the music's good, so that's all that matters, I guess. Okay, let me see here. Okay, this one is a bootleg though, but this has got to be one of the better bootlegs I own. This is Ex-Military by Def Grips, and this is a very hard item to find. Not the bootleg, but the original copy. And the way you can tell it's a bootleg is the black lines are bigger, and there's also originally a little black smudge right here on the real release, but on this bootleg it doesn't have that. And I think they stopped doing vinyl releases of this mixtape because this is a mixtape. This came out before The Money Store. But they stopped doing physical releases of this because basically the album had a bunch of samples in it. And I guess they feared that they could possibly get sued in the future if they were making money off this release. So basically they're giving it out for free. So they're technically not making any money off the release, so they technically can't be sued. So that's why they did it. They never did get sued, but they probably felt that could happen in the future if they kept it up, I guess. That's why they stopped doing physical releases and took it off streaming and everything. And they also have it on their website for completely free, just like all their other albums too. So let me see here. All right. Okay, this one is what? Oh. Okay. All right. This one is Relationship of Command by At the Drive-In. They are a post-hardcore group from Texas. And a lot of the members are from different countries and stuff like that. But it's kind of interesting because it actually has all the countries that the members are from. And so Cedric, Mexico, and Omar, which is the vocalist, he's from Puerto Rico. There's Tony, he's from Lebanon. And Jim looks like he's the only member actually from the United States. He's actually from Texas, and then Paul is from Mexico as well. So, but this is a really great release. This is one of the first post-hardcore albums I really listened to and listened all the way through, and it's a really great release. The vocalist of this group is also in another group called the Mars Volta, which is a progressive rock group, which is actually probably more popular than At the Drive-In, but I personally prefer At the Drive-In though. But Mars Volta is also really great. Especially their album Francis the Mute is really good too. Oh. Alright, let's go into one more album and then we'll cut it off for today. So, hold on one second. Alright, let's see here. Okay. This is Window Licker by Aphex Twin. And if you're angry that this is in such bad shape, I didn't do this. So what did actually happen, you may ask? So Amazon dropped this off, and this is how it looked when it got dropped off. It was shipped in a plastic bag, and I was all like, "You're gonna deliver this like this, Amazon? Really?" It was all bent up and stuff like that. The record was fine, but this album was all bent up and out of shape. I wasn't very happy when they delivered it like this. I was really angry, but this is a lot of people just label this just as a single. I consider this more of an EP, personally. This is probably Aphex Twin's arguably his most popular release, but this was never released on an album. But this was a single, Window Licker, and then had 2 other songs on it. So I don't know, I just consider it more of an EP than a single, but that's just me though. Maybe, I don't know, maybe you can see some people labeling it as something different, but this is my second favorite Aphex Twin release, though. My first being the Richard D. James album, though. But this is a really great release, though. Probably one of the easiest. Well, actually, maybe I'd say Selected Ambient Works is the easiest, but out of his crazier works, it's probably the easiest to really kind of get into. The Window Licker track is one of my favorite electronic music songs ever, and the 2 B-sides are really good too. But all right, guys, that's kind of it. Thank you for watching. I hope I hope you get a step of some what was it? Right. Hope you get the right foot in the right direction, and I really hope you guys have a great day. Goodbye.